This is a video about using the Behringer BCF2000 with the Behringer XR18 digital mixer with the BCF2000 in Mackie Sonar mode. Starting off, to describe the unit, at the top we have 8 rotary encoders which are used for panning and entering data in other modes. Underneath that are 8 buttons which are nominally mutes and solos. Another series of 8 buttons in the second row are channel select. Underneath there we have 8 faders which can be adjusted in banks of 8 for multiple input. On the right side of the unit at the top we have a series of 4 buttons followed by another series of 4 buttons and then 2 buttons here. There are 4 more buttons at the bottom which I've masked off. They are used in controlling a digital audio workstation or DAW. I haven't been able to figure out any use for them with the XR18, so I've got them masked off here. We're going to start by saying that the XR18 is now set up in what many people call sound check mode, which is to say my computer has some previously recorded tracks sending back to the XR18 over USB, and you see the data coming in on, for example, the ring LEDs around the rotary encoders are now acting as level meters for the tracks. And you see the level meters also corresponding in the software application. I'm using the mixing station software in this case. Okay, to begin with, I've already set levels and panning and EQ, gate, and compressor settings, but I'm going to show you how I did them. I'm going to start off with EQ. The channel selector button, now we have channel 1 selected. I'm going to press the EQ button, and you see the ring LEDs at the top by the rotary encoders have now changed to a different setting. Going to the EQ mode in the software. There we go, let's get it back. Okay, here we go. The third encoder is controlling the low shelf, the low cut. The next encoder up and down, and if you push and turn, you can adjust the frequency range. Similarly with the next one, rotate it up and down or push and turn to adjust the frequency. And same for the high shelf. This is selectable per channel. I'll select channel 2 now. There's the low shelf. Next band. Next band. And the high. And similarly, you simply change the channel and go to the same channel in your software and you can see the adjustments you've made. The second encoder here selects the bandwidth. There we go. Let's see, let me go back to, let's see, I'm on channel 2. Yes, okay. There you see the Q, or the width of the cutter boost, is adjusted by the second one, and rotate it back, and now it's back into the other adjustments. If you hold the shift button down, channel select 2 and channel select 3 light up. Channel select 2 turns the EQ on and off. Channel select 3 turns the low cut on and off. If you hold down the shift and the EQ button, it switches over to the gate. The first rotator controls switch channel. You can see the channel selection lights there. I'm going to go back to channel 1. The third encoder is the threshold. The fourth one changes it between expander 2, 3, 4, duck, and gate. The fifth encoder adjusts the range. The sixth encoder adjusts the attack. Seventh encoder is the hold. And the eighth encoder is the release. So going back to the second encoder here, let's change it over to compressor mode. And we have three controls: threshold, ratio, and gain. There's the threshold adjusting, ratio, and the makeup gain. Okay, moving on, we're going to press the gain button now. Oh, one more thing I can show you here. The other control here is the weight in the auto mix adjustment, the weight of this channel in the auto mix, which feature I've never used. Okay, pressing the gain button. The 8 rotary pots now adjust the gain or the trim of the individual channels. Since we're receiving the signal coming back through the USB, it's called trim right now. Change to channel 2, adjusting the trim, channel 3, and so forth. If you hold down the shift, the channel selector buttons change it between gain and trim. So I've got the software in channel 3 right now, so I'll do that one. As you can see, it's switching between gain and trim. If you hold Shift and the gain, it switches it to effect send mode. And here are your 4 effect sends. Let's see, we're on channel 3 in the software, so I will that was the verb, there's a delay, slap. The 4th one, I'm not using that because it's a combi. I've got that on the master bus, but I typically don't use that. And you do that on a per channel basis simply by selecting which channel you want to use the effect send for. Next, we're going to press the pan button. There's pan on channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, etc. And press to reset. If you hold down Shift, the channel selector buttons control whether the signal is going to the master left-right bus on or off. As you can see, they're all lit up now, so they're all going to the master bus. And this will deselect them, and I'm reselecting them. This is useful if you have, for example, a click track and a live mix that you want to send to your drummer, but you don't want it to be in the PA for the audience to hear. That channel that has the click track on it, you would deselect it so that it no longer goes to the master right left, and so it would not go through the PA and the audience wouldn't hear it. But you could still send it on an aux bus to the drummer's in-ear mix or his wedge monitor so that he could hear it and keep the time with some pre-recorded tracks or whatever else you wanted to keep time with. Okay, next we're going to press the aux button. And encoders 3 through 8 now are aux sends 1 through 6. Let's select, in this case, let's go channel 4, and I'm going to select channel 4 here and make some adjustments on the monitor sends or aux sends. Okay, up top right, the button that's labeled aux 3 is Sends on Faders. Oh, here we go. Sorry. FX1, there it is. I pressed the wrong button. There we go. And there's Sends on Faders. Okay, aux 3 is similarly Sends on Faders for bus 3. That's be monitor 3 in this case. And you can see Sends on Fader mode there. And push the button again, and it goes back. The last thing I can show you is the bank selector. If you bank all the way as far as you can to the left, that's channels 1 through 8. Bank right, you're on 9 through 16. If you bank right again, you get 17 through 18. And the last 4 become effects returns 1, 2, 3, and 4. The next bank over is aux 1 through aux 6, And the last one on the right is the master left right. And the last bank, number 5, are effect sends 1, 2, 3, and 4, and DCAs 1, 2, 3, and 4. One more button I can show you is effects parameters. If you press and hold this, here we go. Effects 1, you have 6 control parameters. Effects 2, effects 3, effects 4. Let's go back to effects 1. And the first 6 items are the ones that you can control. And the same with the other effects. This has been a presentation of using the Behringer BCF2000 as a controller for the XR18 digital mixer.